Bless family, I'm back again with another topic. The topic today is Kaluglis. Yeah, North Africa. I'm going to talk about North Africa. The word Kaluglis. Kaluglis or Kalulis or Kaluglis. If you're Turkish, let me know because this word is Turkish, right? Kaluglis, the spelling is Kouloglis, or sometimes you find different variation, right? So this word Kaluglis is it means basically the son of a slave, right? So, but there is a huge number of people in North Africa that they've been called that term back in the Ottoman Empire. So you don't know that, but I'm going to break it down in the Ottoman Empire. In the Ottoman Empire basically in North Africa, especially around Algeria, Libya, and all North Africa, Sudan, all the way to Sudan. Those, uh, this word, yeah, normally somebody that there's janissaries. If you don't know the janissaries that soldiers has been recruited in the Ottoman army. Those soldiers been recruited probably mainly from Eastern Europe and North Europe, like Armenia, Croatia, Serbs, Belarus, Albania, all those areas. You know what I mean? Bulgaria, all those areas. So it's been recruited from those areas onto the so some of them as a slave and some of them as soldiers, a captive, that you know what I mean, the soldiers that prisoners of war, and they caught them and then put them in, recruited them in the army, and instead they leaving them in prisons, they put them and send them over to North Africa. And the time around the 1300, 1500, 1600, all this time. So Kaluglis, the word itself is Turkish, uh, Kul, which it means slave, yeah, or servant, a slave, yeah, and Alulas, which means son of, right? So they have the Janissaries, the soldiers, where in North Africa they start basically having sex with native African women whatsoever, whatever, who whatever they found that time, they just sleep with. So they've had kids, yeah, those kids or children at the time, they call them, the Ottoman officials or in the Ottoman Empire, they call them Kaluglis. Uh, this term was very, very widespread, guys, in the time of the Ottoman Empire. Even the Ottoman Empire uh, policy officials that created policy for those kids, for those people Kaluglis, which is the kids of the Janissaries. The Janissaries, I already broke down the Janissaries as soldiers in the Ottoman armies, right? They created a policy. If you're a soldier, if you're a janissary and married or not married, you had kids from African native women, then they're gonna have to they make a lot of rules for you, regulation that which is they're gonna cut you off from the army or cut off your money, no food from the army, nothing like that. You can't get none of that. So the Kaluglas, right? Why I'm saying this, why I'm coming up with the term Kaluglas and Janissaries, guys, you have to understand the history of North Africa and the Ottoman Empire, especially around Libya and all those areas. There's many, 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 many people of uh, of Ottoman Turks descent, those in North Africa, especially Libya, Algeria, and all those areas. So listen, so that's why the Kaluglas is, there's many higher number of people that Janissaries start sleeping with these women, which is they've got no power. Those women that they control, and they are the soldiers that's basically right there. So they whatever they find a woman, they just sleep with, and they've had kids, many kids. So some of the kids, Kalulas, uh, you got the Janissaries because there is a rank. It depends, yeah, it depends on the rank. So if you're Janissaries and your rank is very high, so your kids uh, and those Kalulis, they will become very important. And one of those important Kalulis as well is uh, Ahmed Bey of Constantine. If you don't know Ahmed Bey of Constantine, who was the last ruler of Algeria, the regency of Algeria, he was the ruler of that, the Bey of Algeria. And again, the father of Algerian nationalism as well, Mosalhi Ahmed, also is Kalulis. So if you don't know that, guys, you have to understand because why I'm saying that, you should understand that the Turkish presence, the Ottoman Turks, is not necessarily somebody of a Turkish descent. It could be Albanian, it could be Persians, it could be Armenian, it could be Circassian or Circassian or Jarakisa. That's what they call them, guys. Do you know what I mean? But those people are start sleeping. Also, remember, migration also was heavy, was massive on the time of Ottoman Empire. People come from all part of the Ottoman Empire to North Africa, and I think you should understand that. So, Calulas, uh, on the time, there's a time for them around the 1600 or 1500. Uh, their importance, they grew really high in importance. They become very important figures in North Africa. Some of them they start fighting against their forefathers and things like that. And then the Ottoman empires, the Ottoman officials said, "Oh, that's the reason why the trouble came from the Caligula's, because the Caligula's have probably have a father that is Janissary, and now they become very important in the army and things like that. And this is why, and they create that's why they have their own regencies. They create their own regencies, but there's a time that they got expelled from Algeria or Libya. They expelled, for example, to go to area like Sudan and Egypt and things like that, because it's right there. The rules of the Ottoman Empire was solid, very solid. So, but then they revolted again and again and again. So you should understand that, guys. So I got to talk about the Turkish president is very, very, very high. I'll talk about that later on or in another video. But the term Caligulus, guys, is was a very, very, it's not an offensive term at the time, because now if your father is Janissaries and a soldier in the Ottoman army, no one will call you that. But only the Ottoman Turks, like in Constantinople or other areas, they're called Caligulus and Caligulus. They know that. They know that. In today's world, so Caligulus, Caligulus, today's world, they call them mixed race. But I don't really, you know what I mean? So they call them mixed race today. So you should understand that, guys. The history is very unique. Understand the Caligulus. You make research about the Caligulus or Caligulus or Caligulus. If you're Turkish, let me know, guys. You will understand that is something that people, is worthy of mentioning in history. And the history of North Africa, I think, even though, yes, the Turks, the Ottoman Turks contributed a lot into their culture into the North Africa as well. You got to give them that as well, guys. You know what I mean? Even though, yes, there's a colonization and things, some of them contributed. I mean, people say that, but then the migration of people that came from the Turkish or the Ottoman Empire was huge and massive. So now, guys, you know the term Caligulus or Caligulus. Caligulus or Caligulus. Are you also one of those people today, guys? Are you one of those people that they call Caligulus in North Africa? So let me know, guys, if you are, and that's just, if you know anything more about Caligulus or Caligulus, things like that, let me know, guys. Leave a comment down below so we can talk about it, guys. Alright, bless family. Stay blessed, family. Bye.